Well. I have no idea how well or badly this is working because, again, I'm on a community uh, Wi Fi and I am here because Martin has relied on transit because I have the car and has slid in immeasurably late. And I can see the video of him struggling to get the iPad Pro that has been having audio problems for a while when it comes to broadcasting on HAPS. It doesn't seem to have the same problem on a bunch of other things. Um, and he just sent me a text message saying iPad stalled. Well, I'm hoping he can hear me so that he can at least give me hand gestures that are polite to let me know when he's ready. But hello, fellow Hapsters and replay viewers. Once Martin is set up and ready to go and in there, and his tech is working, I will hand it over to him. He's going to have to tell me when to unmute him, but I suggested he plug in our wireless mics and see if they work better than the iPad was. And that problem may have been fixed because that was a while ago that we were having that issue with HAPS and the iPad. So in the meantime, while he fusses and struggles, and Martin, I can see you, so give me a thumbs up if you can at least hear me. And there is absolutely no physical response from him. So he probably can't. Oh, thumbs up. Okay, he held up his phone. I'm assuming that means that he's got HAPS on the phone. Okay, he's doing this. Does that mean you're ready to go? Are you ready to join me? Everything's stuttering. He's holding up one of the earbuds. Really, honey, we've got to agree on some serious hand gestures here as to what we're going to do. But I'm going to let him type in the comments when he's ready, just because um, Canadian at the threshold goes Canuck, Canuck, Canuck on the door. Thanks. Um, but hi, Red Eye. But I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you what we're doing, and I'm going to put together an ad. He said needs to set up earbuds. Okay, I'm going to put together a bit of an ad for it, but we have decided for the October one, for the Day of the Dead one, that we're going to change the sponsorship a bit. Uh, and there is Jedi Senshi. Yay, Katie. I don't know. My internet is unstable here, like I say, guys. So if you can't hear or see things, I've got everything stuttering here, but you may be seeing everything okay. I don't know. Busted again. Yeah, like it's hard. Red Eye, the least you can do is give us a challenge. I mean, seriously, dude, a little more effort on your part would be greatly appreciated. Um, but what we've decided to do is, and the idea was given the other night with one of our viewers, um, for 1 month, the sponsorship will be for every $5 you have sponsored us. You get one name. $7 if you're just doing one name, but every $5 if you're doing multiple names, because we are doing the Day of the Dead thing. And I'm going to write a post for that. I'm also going to do a thing for the pirate, but I'll save the pirate video until after I do a post and video for the Day of the Dead thing in October, simply because you only have this month to contribute. Hear you fine, but you're a bit blurry. Yeah, I'm thinking because I'm using the laptop, which is really high resolution. That's a problem. Depending on how my schedule goes here, it may be a situation of using my phone at my data plan. I don't know. I don't know. Do not task me, madam. Be careful what you wish for. I've never regretted, well, not damagingly regretted tasking you, my dear. So, yeah, we're going to do that. And we're going to do things a little differently just for the 1 month. So if you sponsorship more, then you can pick more names. You can give us more names of people who have passed. And then you can just bump your sponsorship back for the month after that in order to, go back to your normal $7 or $5, depending on when you came on board. And we will keep track. We are taking screen captures of each month so that we know who's done what and when we change things and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What do you mean not yet? What do you mean not yet? never. Never. So I see Martin running around like a madman, kind of choppingly running around like a madman. It's probably my internet that's doing it. Also, as you can tell, there's very low light in these rooms. And he's making faces, but because it's so choppy, I can't see the faces he's actually making. Martin, when you're ready to join me, please put a comment in so that I can see it. And that's the best way to do it. Oh, now I got a close up of his nose. That's pleasant, honey. So yes, I will be doing all that tonight, I hope. But I have to get up and move around because I've been sitting in this very uncomfortable chair for a while, doing a whole bunch of things, and I want to get up and move before my back seizes up and get the broadcast to Martin, who was supposed to start it, and then I was hopefully going to join later on if I can get into a quiet the nose knows if I can get into a quiet space. Right now, I've got my phone hands-free disconnected from my phone and attached to my computer. You're kind of fuzzy. Have you been drinking? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Not that I know. But so I see Martin just kind of sitting there staring at the screen, I think. Ooh. Okay, my message. I got to get used to my new message sound because it's can't comment but ready to go. Oh, because you're on the iPad and the app, and we haven't been able to figure that out. Okay. Oh, right. And because you're broadcasting, you can't go up like this so that the comments are on the bottom. I'm just being a pain and making him suffer because he made me suffer. So he's going to suffer the way I suffered, the way they suffered, the way she suffered. He's making faces at me. I got his microphone. I wish you guys could see this, but I'm just, he's giving me like my own private show. It's amazing. All right. I'll invite the goon in. Martin, your mic's going on. Don't say something you regret, okay? Remember, no saying something you regret. Mic is going on. Your mic is
All I
on.
saw was the monkey trying to put the cork back in.
Cork back in. Do either one of us remember the rest of that joke?
And earbud already jumped ship. Like not even 5 minutes into the broadcast. There we go.
Yeah. Oh,
it's not that kind of broadcast. Yes, Katie.
I don't remember the rest of that joke. I seriously don't remember the rest of that joke. That was years ago, Martin.
Yeah. That's just all I remember is the punchline. All I saw was the monkey trying to put the cork back in. Something about an elephant with explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, we remember the
Hey,
wasn't there like isn't there like a web page out there with just punchlines?
Probably.
I wonder
Yeah.
if that one's in there. There you both are.
Punchlines
Yeah.
and their origins.
I'm gonna go because as you can see, the internet here is really bad.
So I'm wondering if I do hit the go live
story
button
time
here.
might wind up being really interesting. Say again?
If I hit the go live button here once you've finished off, will it allow me to have control comments and stuff?
Oh yeah, you can't see comments at the moment unless you have it. Well, you can use a second device too.
I can see the comments. I just can't reply to it. Can't comment myself.
Well, you're speaking. Aren't you capable of speaking?
I am speaking. I
mean,
speaking.
Well, if you want to test it now, but remember, if it ends, we got a very short broadcast, and my effort was for naught.
All right, well, we'll leave well enough alone then. Whew. Okay.
Do we ever leave well enough alone? I thought we were really bad at that.
It's our life story, isn't it?
If it's possible. The punchline is you both look good to me. Oh, okay. Thank you, Kirk. Oh, I'm flattered. Martin, the punchline.
All I saw was the monkey trying to put the cork back in. It's a circus joke.
It's pertaining to an elephant. We don't remember. Yeah, we don't remember the whole joke. So yeah. So Martin, have you got all your materials out, and are you ready to rock and roll and create some
grab the
crown molds for these
original
good
crown.
people? And well, I'm gonna switch to just audio.
Ow, eek, ack, ook.
So that you can have the whole screen, honey.
What's that?
You know, with only one camera now, you've got to put it in a way that they see what you're working on as well as you.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it a little bit. It's a little bit of a challenge with only the one camera, but we'll manage. Here, if I do this, hang on a sec.
We've done it before.
Disrupt things too.
We've done it before, and we'll do it again.
Here we go.
There the oak goat is. Well, don't you have a table? You can have a table in front of you. Put the camera behind the table. Put the camera behind the table. So your project's in front of you. Hey, look, you could do what I did. No, hang on. There's an easier way to do this, dude.
Okay.
Dude.
Rotate the table?
You just do what, oh God. Typical male, just doesn't let a woman finish, does he?
Tell me.
Do what I did. Just put one of the folding tables or that table in front of the desk and use the desk as your work surface as well as the extension of the table.
I see. Okay. And keep the iPad on the desk.
I used one of the project trays and I put like a box or something on top of the desk. And I turned the project tray upside down to make an extension of the desk. And then that way it was up to a level, like closer to my chest type thing. And worked on the project in frame in front of my chest. Nice. And there was numerous complaints, or was it just people pointing it out that my chest was now covered? But I didn't worry too much about it.
Okay.
Here's the joke. I'll take care of them. You set yourself up. But yeah, just go get one of the small tables, a box to put it on. Put your project as high as your chest, so it's in the shot, and your face is in the shot. Okay. And ta-da! Yeah, got it. And I will read the joke out. Here's the joke. 3 scientists were one day discussing what would happen if they rammed a cork up an elephant's hang on, I have scroll. Wow. Of an elephant's backside and forced it for 2 weeks. Because the experiment had never been documented and the idea was hard to comprehend. A week after the experiment had started, they began to realize they decided to have realized why the idea had never been tried. They were stuck for someone to pull the cork out. One of the scientists came up with the bright idea of training a monkey to do the job. So they spent the next week training it to pull out corks once a buzzer had rung, then push it back in for another go. The big day arrived. They set up all the monitoring equipment, set out to a safe distance. The first scientist went 1 mile away, the second went 2 miles away, and the third went 3 miles away. When they were all ready, the first scientist pushed the button to sound the buzzer. Bang! The third scientist 3 miles away was up in his ankles and shite. The second 2 miles away was up to his knees, and then the first 1 mile away was up to his waist. When the others joined the scientist who was 1 mile away, they noticed that he was in fits of laughter. What the hell's so funny? Asked one of the scientists. You should have seen the monkey's face trying to get the cork back in. Because the one have to go get cat food, makes my leg get gnawed on, and I'd have to get there. So vets cost a fortune on the weekend. That's true. See, for now, that's not the joke, because it was a circus joke. It did have something to do with the elephant having the runs, but it was a circus joke. It was so long ago. Maybe it's out of style because elephants shouldn't be in circuses or something anymore. I don't know. Yeah, see, because you can always adjust the iPad if you have to. Oh, that's a good surface. I didn't think of that one.
Yeah.
You have to lift the iPad a little bit, but it could work. Because, yeah, the idea is the surface, if it's just below shot, it puts the project just at the bottom edge of frame. A great steaming heap of a joke. Now you see, if you weren't on Facebook and over here on Haps, then you'd read the joke. But I guess that would take away the pleasure of me reading it. Mr. Martin. Yeah, that works. It means you're taking the project on and off as you work on different aspects. But now, well, yeah, it's a little too high.
A little too
It
high.
should be at the bottom edge of your frame.
So I should.
So lift up your iPad if you're comfortable working that high. If you're comfortable working that high, are you comfortable working on that high, or drop, or get something that's not as high?
See if I can find something a little lower than this then.
Because it should match the bottom edge of your frame. And we are going to be patient as Martin fusses. That looks like it might be a little better.
That's better.
Put the crown on top and see how it looks to you.
Put the which? Crown?
Put the crown. You could be a little lower.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not bad, but yeah, go a tiny bit lower, just below frame.
Too low. That's too low.
Old phone, can't put Haps on, no room. See you later. Old phone talks old like. What did I think I used? I think I used the little antique trunk and a serving tray. So that's completely. Oh, that's still the same height as the last thing.
That's still the same height.
But what happens if you only use one of those?
That's. I just had that there.
Do you have one of those on there or two of those?
This is one right now.
Obviously, there's a delay in the audio. See, that's fine because you can lift that up and show them what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I would give yourself more room because you're no longer center shot. So move your iPad back to, angle your iPad back to where it was. So it's straight instead of on an angle.
So it's straight instead of, oh, hang on here.
You angled it towards the other table. No, it's fine.
Like that?
You're still not center. Well, you're kind of center frame. You are partially cut off, but you've only got the one camera, so that's not such a horrible thing. Mm-hmm. Just don't lean into it. See, and there you can pick things up and show them what you're doing. And that's why I use the serving tray, too, instead of that cutting mat.
Right.
Because the serving tray is a hard surface, so you can pick it up and show people.
Oh, I see that. Pick up the tray itself.
Yeah, one of the project trains. Looks good, Martin. You've got the captain's approval. You got Kirk's approval. Poor Martin, with half the devices with me and half the... See, there you go. That way you can pick things up as you work and you don't have to, especially once you get into the molding process.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So before I go, I'm going to remind everyone that I will be putting up ASAP a video explaining the slight change, the 1 month change for the Day of the Dead thing we're doing in October. And I am submitting to Fan Expo for panels because apparently they didn't get enough submissions considering COVID. I am not surprised. So I am going to submit 4 panels, and I am going to suggest to them that they give me a good Wi-Fi, and we can do it there. We can do the Day of the Dead thing there, so we can have a little audience there and a little donation jar if they'll let us. And so if we get panels and a Fan Expo wants us that badly, then we can be able to do that virtually with them and see if we can get them excited about monarch butterflies and see if that works. So I'm going to be talking to Fan Expo for all that. So I'm hoping that weekend that Martin and I will be there. We do miss going to actual physical conventions. We've got our shield masks that we can do with our characters. And don't just, I can't tell if it's frozen or if you are kind of moving. At least, get there. I didn't say Muppet dance, but, at least respond to what I'm saying, dude.
Okay.
You'd make a horrible interviewer. You know, the inter
Yeah,
I can
well,
see you interviewing someone and the person you're interviewing is just sitting there going, "Sir, are you okay? Martin?
hello,
Mr. Hunger?
hello,
Hello?"
are you in there? Are you in there? Hello, McFly.
McFly.
You
I
can
know
hear
that's
me
right.
though, right?
I can hear you, yeah. I've got my phone's hands-free hooked up to the computer.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I managed to
it
connect the
I'm gonna have
earbuds
to
into that.
eventually
So,
yeah, I'm gonna have to connect it back to my phone at some point here.
mhm.
But yeah, so what was I saying?
Day of the Dead.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, and we've got both our shots, so we'll be getting our passport, our vaccine passport soon. Um, you know, it's a mini fan expo, but you know, I watched the Dragon Con parade today and I cried. You know, I thought it would
Mm,
brighten my day, and all I kept thinking is, we've never been to Dragon Con, and I feel like such a failure. I want to be there. So my hope is to, I'd like to see if Martin and I can organize ourselves enough that we can maybe submit an entry to the Dragon Con parade as, you know, the Canadian contingent, and
be-
you know, maybe do a fundraiser or something, and basically make it so that Canadians that go down, whether they're um, whether they have a costume or not, because we can always loan ours out for the parade itself,
mhm.
and just make it feasible to enter into the parade as the Canadian cosplayers type thing. Um, Yay, Jedi Sentry's going to Fan Expo. That's right. So
Awesome.
I don't want to miss it, and I can't afford it. So Martin and I have a lot of dreams. It's just going to take a lot of focus, self healing. Oh, and by the way, Martin,
Yes.
the HAPS theme of the week. I'll have to go back and get the proper wording.
Oh,
But the HAPS theme of this week is self care.
oh, is it? Well, that's very appropriate.
It is. Maybe sometime this week, before Friday, you and I should have a broadcast about what we're trying to do in order to continue to be best friends and partners, and how when life changes, you got to change with it. I've been talking to a lot of the ladies here, and it seems I'm not the only one that didn't go into menopause very well. Not
Oh,
exactly in the
really?
same way, but your body changes so much practically every year until it finally settles, which can be at any time, that most women give up on their bodies and their lives just simply because of you know, of that change that they don't recognize.
Hmm.
So gentlemen, be nice to your women. Tell me about it. Yeah, see,
Yep.
gentlemen, the jokes are the jokes. Real life is another thing. The jokes are funny because there's a hint of real life, but break it
That's true.
down. It really is a painful experience for a woman. Be patient. Don't lock us in the corners. And Martin,
Yeah.
I'm hoping you'll take the idea in consideration that I gave you earlier, because I think that'll make your job easier.
Yes.
But just to sum it up, because I want to say this before I go, because I want to be part of this broadcast, but I can't. Um, Basically, we wanted to 3D print the parts for the crown, and halfway through today, Martin realized that I have the laptop that runs the 3D printer.
Hmm.
So he had to go out to a friend's place to get the PC laptop that was connected to the other cutter that we're trying to get to talk to the other cutter, which we now, I think, have decided that we're going to sell after all. Oh my God, this is
Yeah.
confusing. And so he went all the way out there, and there was transit problems and problems meeting up with people, and so he
I
was supposed to be
literally,
back almost 3 hours ago.
yeah, I
Yeah.
literally walked in the door just before she started the broadcast. So,
So he was supposed to be back 3 hours ago, get the 3D print started of the parts, and go to air with you guys with some 3D parts you can start working with. But
mm,
as you see, that's not going to happen because
nope.
you guys are here, we're here. So I said to him, let's go back to the old fashioned way. That old crown, pull the crown forward, Martin. This crown is technically dead anyway,
Hmm.
because the way we did it, we didn't keep in mind things like the curvature of the crown does not curve with the pieces that are glued down. He glued them down flat and then bent the crown. And those stones keep coming out because the one thing that crown lacks and his new crown doesn't, because I said, hold on, there's a problem here, is holes behind the stones. The backs of the stones are basically flat, but there's a
Hmm.
curvature. So the new crown has to have holes behind the stones.
Like
So
right
what he's
through.
going to do is yeah, so just in the middle, right? Just like your other crown, right?
Hmm.
So what he's going to do is he's going to pick off the fancy details on top because they keep falling off anyway. He's going to try to straighten them out in front of camera for you guys. Martin, you may want to go get the portable light because if I can't see the pieces you're picking off, I doubt they can. You've got a little bit of shadowing there, which makes things kind of disappear.
Okay.
I would go get that camera light right now while you've still got me, and let's see if we can make that crown more visible. So,
Stand by.
poor Martin, nothing worse than running around in transit in jail. No, there is a lot worse. Try doing it in Vancouver. Oh my God, that system goes back to the 1940s and hasn't been updated since. I mean, it's such, instead of fanning out like the systems in Montreal or Toronto, it zigs and zags and got so many streams down the city here and there. It would take me almost an hour to get to the closest mall to me by transit, but 5 minutes by car. So speak up, Martin, please. Okay, we'll tell him that Jedi when he comes back.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
my mic is at full. Okay.
and let me test your the way up. Okay, your level's all the way up on the app now.
Okay.
Here, let me bring your level on broadcast studio. Speak, Martin, speak.
Speak. Speak.
Is that better?
Cool. Okay. Is that better?
Should I send you? Is
Everyone?
that
Is it
better?
better?
Okay, you. The light is a little better. Can you bring it up
Yeah, yeah. Actually, hang on. I haven't even.
in brightness and make sure it's what? Oh,
Where's
there.
a good
Oh, there
spot
we go.
for?
There we
Where's a good spot that's gonna be?
go. Close to your camera. Really close to your camera,
I'll put it on this side
because that's where we can't see. Oh,
then. He's better.
before your hand got in the shot. Yeah.
Oh,
Now that's
cool.
awesome.
And I just stalled.
That is much better. He didn't stall to me.
Oh,
So yes, so that's
oh, I
much
hope
better.
my.
They can actually see you
Remember the
now.
iPad Pro kept crashing on HAPS?
Yes, Dragon Con is live. What did it? No, I thought it was only audio was a problem.
No, I remember there was something. It kept crashing. Yeah, because my video is completely stalled.
Yeah, I was watching Dragon Con Parade earlier. Yeah,
I
but
can't see
it
what
isn't to
happens here.
me.
It isn't okay.
Is it to anyone else? Because it isn't to me, Martin.
It isn't.
Where's the router? Is the router in the hallway now?
Oh no, I didn't get a chance to move the router. That's right. We were gonna move it a little closer to the
Well, go grab the
edges.
router, put it on the floor in the hallway.
Okay.
Go grab the router, put it on the floor in the hallway.
Stand by.
Everything is fine. So his volume's better now that I turned it up on him? Good.
There we go.
So he's going to pick off the pieces because they're falling off anyway. And
Basically, gonna pick off one set
he's
of
gonna
each.
try to flatten the fiddly little pieces. And then he's gonna hand cut a base piece. It may not be as detailed. And because we're making these crowns for other people, Martin, you don't even have to follow that same outer shape on that base piece.
No, this is true. Yeah.
You can let your imagination work its wonders.
Run wild. I guess this means I'm gonna have
And then that
to like.
base gonna have to like
I'm gonna have to like Dremel out the where the stones go. Once I get the pieces in place, then do a Dremel cut where each of the stones is. Right.
Well, not the full size because you need the lip to glue the stone down to.
Yeah, well, a little bit, yeah, a little bit in from the edge, right?
Yeah. Yeah, or very patiently cut it the old-fashioned, the seriously old-fashioned way.
Seriously, with the knife, yeah.
Either way, because you don't have
Either
to make
way.
the exact same look. All you
Mm-hmm.
have to, like, you don't, because you made that completely based on Stefan's, and even when we got a close look, it doesn't, like, it was
Does not look
convincing
bad,
for a
yeah.
while because no one really took a close look at Stefan's. But if
Mm-hmm.
we were competing for accuracy, yeah, that crown would not have worked.
No.
So make those pieces work for a crown like that, the same size, basically, because it's a good size. I like the size.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure when you Dremel out that hole, of course, when you make your mold, that you put a little tube or something where the holes are,
The tube.
so that when we put the positive,
Okay, did I just lose you? Hello?
Martin, can you hear me?
There, now, there you are. All I heard
You
was when
completely
we did the
blacked out for a
positive.
bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so just
Am I there?
keep an eye on your broadcast because I will be walking away from the computer, but the computer will be staying on
Okay.
so that this
Right
isn't cut
now,
off.
my
If I
screen
have
is
to turn
still,
the computer off or anything, I'm going to go live from the device.
right now, my screen is still frozen on one image and no new comments are popping up. So I'm not going to see any comments coming up. I'm going to have to, let me try and
Okay, you're
restart
choppy
HAPS.
and breaking up like last time. So
Yeah. I need to restart HAPS. Did you hear
I
that?
have no idea what he said. Um, well, he's obviously back. Honey, if you have to switch to your home phone, just use your hands-free. So the iPad is a troublemaker.
Yeah.
So I just turned off the audio on your iPad.
Okay.
The audio on your
And
phone I have not turned off because it looks like that's what you're going to try to do.
iPad's going off.
Hang in there, folks. We've been having a lot of tech issues with things lately. Does anyone know of like a solar or a lunar cycle that might be doing things?
Let me see what I can do here. Stand by.
Yeah, well, some reason the iPad Pro and HAPS don't like each other. The standard iPad does, but his is really old. So
I just need to, oh,
if
now
he can
my,
put the phone basically where the
oh, there we go. Where the iPad was. Yeah, I need to figure out a,
wow, the look is so different with the phone. The phone is kind of
yeah, it
actually
is
brighter. That's interesting.
almost a little,
Less richness.
trying to balance it on a, yeah, that might work.
Yeah,
I've got it balanced on the stand for the
this
camera
job,
light.
but
The camera light's
brighter.
immediately above the phone.
That's
Kind of works. Hang on a second.
you could always use the Pro as a monitor if you want, but that's okay. So
Because
yes, so I'm not sure where my conversation was before Tech took over again. But yeah, so oh yeah, Martin, you can technically make that crown anywhere you look. Like we're not going to really advertise it as a man's crown. We're going to advertise it as a king queen crown. So as long as you think of
it's a
super
human crown as
royalty
opposed to a
type
fairy
thing,
crown.
you will be just fine.
Yeah, everything will be just fine. If I can see whether I can get some of these pieces off without them falling apart. Some of them.
So yeah, but oh yeah, you have to put on where the holes are, or when you pour the pot in.
Okay, you're gonna have to repeat that because it all disappeared. The entire audio just disappeared on me. Hello, Christina?
All right.
Are you there?
You need to post in the middle. Okay, you're back.
Yeah, I'm breaking up. You're breaking up. We're all breaking up. Yeah, your audio was just a complete and total mess. Try putting your device back in time, back on time and space. Oh no, it's not. It's not the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is in great shape right now.
No, because he's using his phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Your end is breaking up. According to Kirk, your end is breaking up. They can hear me fine. Okay. Yeah, I think it's at your end, Christina.
Well, like I can't understand a thing you're saying. Look, shush. You know, I'm also, the router is also here. It's in the base at the other end of the building.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to shut up now.
Don't put it that way.
But did you hear what I said? Just nod or shake. Did you hear what I said about putting a funnel or something so that you've got a little post to pour around so that hole doesn't disappear? Because when you make the mold, you don't want that hole to just become a detail. You want it to actually be, a little extended past. Or is that going to really make a difference? It's not going to make a difference, is it?
I don't think it's going to make a difference.
My brain is everywhere.
It's going to be open in the back, yeah.
I just envisioned, yeah, I just envisioned it. It's okay. 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 I had a brain fart. I had a molding brain fart.
It's
I'm going to go now, folks.
All right, folks.
I hope to be able to get into one of the rooms closer to the router and be back on. But I am going to go now. Martin, you may want to put some music on to keep him entertained.
Music.
Find some like nice classical stuff. Classical.
Yeah.
Like noble. King, queen.
Royal.
And see if you can rescue all those stones for the first pour.
For the first one, yeah.
Royal.
Well, we're not, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Martin is an artist. He will make it work. Martin's a nut job.
We're both
he
artists.
Somehow makes things work, and we don't know how still to this day.
To this very
We're
day.
both nut jobs too, but that's not the point. You're a different kind of nut job than me.
Yep.
All right. Later, guys.
All right. Everyone say bye, Christina. Okay, folks. So let's see what I can do here to start separating some of these pieces. Yeah, I mean, this crown's seen pretty good action over the years. Just a matter of making something that's a little more durable, because this is broken several times. And why is that always the same side that pops off? I'm trying to get one set of every piece, just so that I've got set to work with to make one section. Basically, how old is this crown? 2014, I think. So it's 7 years old. But it was all laser cut ABS, and some of it's gotten a little bit brittle. And we've had like several sections. I don't know how well you can see it here. There's a splice there. There's another splice there on that one, because these top pieces kept snapping off. Yeah, there's 3 of them that were snapping off, and a lot of these detail bits were popping off, and stones are constantly falling off. So we're going to do this a similar way to the fairy crowns that we were doing. I don't have one in this room at the moment. They got moved into the other room. We're going to make a hang on a sec. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. I'm basically going to take one section, so a tall peak and a short peak, right, and rebuild one. Hey, the High Award, thank you, Captain Kirk. And rebuild brand new one using these detail pieces on a new piece of flat material, and make a mold of that. And then that mold will be used to make half a dozen or so copies of that same piece. Those copies are going to get stacked together, and like we did for the fairy mold, fairy crown, this was the original pattern for the fairy crown. So these pieces were 3D printed. We just don't have that option to do that this week. So what I'm going to do is there'll be the six or so repeats of the same pattern stacked together, and then we make a large mold of that. And then when we pour the resin, once it's partially kicked off, then we're able to take it and we roll it around that shaped piece that we had, and let it finish curing. That way we get the sort of the curved crown. And for these, we're going to have them open in the back as well, so they can be adjusted. And we'll have like either a little tie or a band or a chain or something to make an adjustment for them. So for the time being, so what the plan is today, or for tonight's broadcast, is just to get all these pieces off, build a new section, and make a mold of that. And if we can do that quickly enough, I'll start pouring the duplicate versions from that mold. All right, little bits of hot glue everywhere from this crown being repaired so many times. Okay, let's see here. Okay, trying to pull off some of the stones. Let's see what other pieces we have sitting here. Do you use gold spray paint for the color of the crown? Yes, we do. What we did do for the fairy crowns, I think you may have seen it on one of the broadcasts. We picked up some metallic powders. They're actual pigment powders that can be used with resins and stuff like that. And it gets brushed into the mold before the resin gets poured. So when the resin gets poured, it bonds with the powder. When you pull it out, it's already got that metallic look on the outside of it. So we're probably going to do that a lot with these, with golds and silvers and bronze and that sort of thing, and get a few different variations of the crown. Okay, that one's got a little bit of a bezel around it. It's interesting. Yeah, saw that. Yeah, so that's basically what we'll do with these as well. Ooh, if I can, if I'm lucky, I can get this one off in one piece. It is a pair of sort of paisley filigree leaves with the oval stone sort of in the middle, and another set of sort of flourishy leaves underneath it. It's a matter of finding the right spot to get the little knife blade underneath, pop them off the surface. These were all glued with resin bond originally, because ABS to ABS, so it was fairly easy to glue it together that way. But sometimes the surfaces don't quite sit flat against each other, so they don't necessarily bond. There we go. So sometimes it's really easy to pop them apart, sometimes not so much. Okay, so far so good. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Very carefully pry it up without risking breaking the actual detail part. I mean, I can take the pieces and lay them all side by side. You know, I can sort of attach them together when I glue them to a surface, but rather not have to do that. There we go. So yeah, it's a little bit broken because it was very, very thin to begin with, that little oval in the middle, right? But once that's glued down, that should be fine. And what Christina was talking about just before she signed off was, for example, that's where'd the oval stone go? There it is. So this was the stone that was in the middle of that. So what she's suggesting is once this is glued onto a back piece, that I cut a little, let's get this somewhere where I can see it a little more clearly. I cut a little hole in the back piece that goes right through and just leaves a little bit of a lip to glue the stone on. That way when the parts are curved, right, because they'll have a bit of a curve to it, but the back of the stones are flat, then the stone will just be sitting on the lip, and we can do some glue or adhesive or epoxy in behind them to actually hold them in place much better than these. The smaller stones, it's not so bad because the curvature is fairly minimal, but when you get into these bigger stones, like the big rectangular, diamond ones, there's very, it's only really making contact in the middle of the stone. So having the bit of a flange and an open back will help immensely in making that easier for the stones to be attached. Okay. So just trying to see here, what's our combination? That we got that one and that one. And that's that one. I'll have to lift this up to show you guys at some point. Or actually with my phone. Oh no, that's not so bad. So you can see these two ones in the foreground here. That's starting to be the two separate detail parts. And then we've got this little diamond shaped one here with a smaller rectangular stone. The red smaller rectangular stone goes below that piece. Now this one's got quite a curve to it because of the shape of the crown, so I'm gonna have to try and flatten that out a little bit, and then when it's glued so that it stays flat. And then I've got this guy here, which so far I haven't gotten one off in one piece. So I may have to either take this one and put it together like that, glue it down, and at least secure it that way, right? So that it doesn't go anywhere. Or try and see if I can pry another one off that I can pry it off in one single piece. What other parts do I need? I need one of these little top pieces. These top guys right here. That is the other, that's the other detail piece that we still need to have. There's one here. Trying to find one that's already got a bit of an edge lifted. It's usually the easiest ones to pop off, right? It popped off. I have to figure out where it went. Oh, Interestingly enough, it landed right next to my chair. Art Lover, hey, hi Award, thank you, Art Lover. So since you've just come in, I'll give you a quick rundown. You saw the fairy crowns that we've done just over the past couple of weeks, and all the detaily stuff that Christina and I have been adding to them. Now we're going to make human crowns. So it's going to be based on this one that we originally made back in 2014 for King Stefan from Maleficent. Hello, Art Lover. But this one is kind of getting old and falling apart. We made a new one last year or the year before that was we did a mold. Hope you're doing well tonight. Doing fairly well, yeah. Again, Christine and I are in two separate locations right now. She opened the broadcast because she's got the laptop with Broadcast Studio and all the videos and intros and stuff like that in it. And she's gone off to do a few other things and get a little bit of exercise right now because she's been sitting on her keister all day working on projects where she is. But so what I'm going to be doing tonight is I'm making a replacement for this in the way that we did the fairy crowns. So I'm going to take one. I'm pulling off the details from this one to be able to use for the new one, but we're going to take one section, basically from here to here. You know, a tall peak and a short peak, and make a new version of that as a flat piece. Make a mold from that. Make a bunch of copies of that, like pour a bunch of copies of that to stack together into the full crown. So we end up with that version of this, which was the fairy crown that we made the mold of. So when we make a full mold of the whole thing, flat, pour that and be able to roll it around the form that we were using for the crowns, for the fairy crowns. And we'll be able to get this sort of thing without all the little bits and pieces that keep popping off and needing to be reclued. Okay, so I believe that is surprisingly all the detail pieces. Oh, right. I need to see if I can get one more of the big pieces down. Sounds complicated. um, Ultimately, it's not. I mean, our original hope had been to do what we did for the fairy crowns and take the original file that this was created from and do a 3D print of the sections and then do exactly what we did with the fairy crown. That way we only need to do one mold. Hi, Elena, how are you? That way we only need to do one mold, but the Christina's got the laptop, and the laptop is the only thing that can run that 3D printer, so I'm not able to do any 3D printing while she's away with the laptop. Making a Burger King crown? Kind of. It's King Stefan from Maleficent. We're going to make a replacement for this one and be able to make you know, copies of it and put them up on our store for sale. The fairy crowns that we made over the past couple of weeks are going up on the store this weekend, so you'll be able to see those available pretty soon. I see another detail piece that has to be pulled. And that's this little, can I get it up? Be really careful popping these that they don't actually break. Hope you got my latest DM on Facebook. Oh, that you sent to the Car Hunger page? I believe so, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna peel off one of these sections. And I think I saw that this one here might come off in one piece. Yes, okay, awesome. So yeah, just let us know as soon as you find out about the refund for the missing parcel. Come on. How far have I gone? Huh. Probably gone far enough that I can use that for, just break that off right there. All right, and let's see. One of these felt like it was going to start coming off in one piece. The one last detail piece that I was trying to get off, but they kept breaking because it's gotten so brittle. Of course, the one end of it is still really well adhered. Oh, there we go. Carefully, carefully. Do you like doing this kind of work or mechanical work better? I love all of it, really. I mean, my forte is more the mechanical stuff, but even this is very, very satisfying artistically. When it comes to a lot of the organic stuff, like the sort of sculpting and oh, there we go. The sort of sculpty stuff, that's more up Christina's alley, and so that's the sort of thing she's good at. So when we have the choice, she does that kind of work, and I do this kind of work, or do the mechanical stuff. Alrighty, so now we have enough pieces for the details to make one section, and I'm gonna go off frame. Not good form to go off frame, but I'm gonna have to go off frame because I literally ran in the door 1 minute before Christina started the broadcast, and I haven't had a chance to have any water yet. So I'm gonna go get myself a glass of water, and I'll be right back. Oh yeah, there we go. That's better. Yeah, running around this afternoon, trying to meet up with a couple of people and trying to get our the Windows laptop that we had over at our friend's place where the other laser cutter is. Just barely got back here in time. The original plan was to get that laptop up and running with the 3D print software to try to do this crown that way, but unfortunately wasn't enough time to do that. So okay. So now the trick is going to be getting all these pieces flattened out a little bit more. Oh, and not having them break. This is it. They've been in this shape for 7 years, 6 or 7 years, and trying to get them to flatten out again is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I feel them wanting to snap at the thinnest portions. Right? So what I may just have to do is try and force glue them down. Right, so let's see if I can show you guys the pieces right there. This little mess off to the other side is just all the extra bits that I was trying to pry off. So here, let me do this way so you guys can see the detail bits as they would be laid out on the crown itself, like so. That's basically, there's something else cracking on this crown. That's basically one section of the crown, like that. Okay, so just give myself a little bit of work space here. I'm going to take all the extra bits, move them off to the side. Kind of like a cooking show, right? Okay, we'll take all of these things and we're going to put them off to the side now. And we come back and we have a full operational crown. Cool. Okay. So, and yeah, we're going to be like rescuing all the stones off of this crown so we can put them on the first one for the store. And like I said, the fairy crowns that we made over the past 2 or 3 weeks are going to get put up on the store this weekend. I've started working on the listings. We got photographs and stuff like that ready for the listings, so that should take no time at all. And then yeah. Hello, baby girl. Our little floof Hathor coming in to say hi. Hey, baby. Whoa, say hi to people. Look at that. She's never been a lap cat, and she's not really good at being picked up. She's not really keen on it. So she had her, momentary appearance there. Everything good? I think she's a little bit bored. Okay. Now I have a piece of material here. Little, hello. She's a bit round. She's actually not overweight. She's just, that's her breed. So much fur and everything. I'm sure if we shaved her, she'd be this scrawny little thing. So this is the ABS we want to use. It's 1/8 inch thick, so it's going to be a little bit thicker because the base piece of this crown, like all the base layer, was only 1/16 of an inch thick. So the 1/8 inch is double the thickness, and we made this out of 1/16 because it was easier to roll as ABS. Whereas when we do it with the mold, when we do it with the casting material is already a little bit soft because it hasn't completely gone off when we wrap it around the form. Then once it's hardened, it's going to keep that shape. So we can afford to go a little bit thicker. However, this is a big piece, and I'm going to see if we have anything a little bit smaller. She is a big cat. Yeah, well, compared with Pippin, right? Compared with our adult male, half Bengal or part Bengal cat, he's quite a bit bigger. So, I mean, I think she's about 13 or 15 pounds or something like that, and he's about 20 pounds. And then little Baxter's, I think, around 9 or 10 pounds at this point. He's just a little over a year old. I think he's like a year and 3 months or something. Okay, so yeah, and let's see if I can find a smaller piece of material so I don't have to cut this piece down too much, because this is a very nice usable piece. It's like 12 by 18 inches. Don't necessarily want to break that up because that's nice and clean material. So bear with me for a bit, folks. I'm sure you guys can still hear me when I rifle through our little materials rack here. And yeah, if you leave any comments while I'm over here, that's fine. I'll address them as soon as I get back on camera. All right, let's take a look at this one piece that we got here. I don't know if it's wide enough. It might actually be. Is it tall enough? It's wide enough and tall enough. All right, so no fresh comments, okay? Fresh comments. You certainly have quite the stock room there. Oh, yeah, we got like all kinds of things here. We got little bins of electronic parts, remotes, puppetry stuff, different casting materials. There's more casting materials in the closet now because we moved them over there. We got random, bin of random bits and pieces, parts, hardware, mechanical stuff. There's electronic stuff in bins up there. There's different materials in drawers underneath the laser cutter. It's kind of scattered all over the place. We got, I don't know if you can see the white, yeah, you can see the white drawers in the frame. That's all of our acrylic paints and basically the brush paints. So we've got acrylics there. We've got some oil-based paints and little, we do puppets too. We haven't done any puppetry stuff in a long time, but for puppetry, we we use the term sort of loosely because anything that's using servos or using any kind of mechanicals that are being controlled remotely, like technically the Maleficent wings are puppets, right? It's something that's remotely operated and supposed to mimic something real life. So we use the term puppetry a little bit loosely that way. But yeah, in the past we've done animatronic puppets. Years and years ago, we used to do a bunch of hand puppets, like foam rubber hand puppets, which was really a lot of fun. We sold them at a bunch of little craft sales here and there around the Toronto area. This was like 30 years ago. And something we'd probably like to get back into again as well. And then eventually get back into doing some of the little animatronic puppets. Alrighty. My chair seems to be trying to settle into one spot, so I guess my chair stays where it is. Now, let's see, what do we got here? Now, Christina's suggestion was that we go with, we don't have to go with this particular design because it's, it is Stefan from Maleficent, but even this isn't exact. So trying to think of how to modify that design with the pieces that we've got. Maybe it's not necessarily feasible to modify the design too much. So I'm going to pretty much stick with the way it goes. Maybe the proportions will end up being a little bit different. So we're looking at about 5 1/4 inches tall. Somewhere there should be a white pencil. Whether it's here or whether it's in the other room, I don't know. Oh, I gotta remember, I gotta speak up a little bit when I step away from camera. So used to having our little earbuds. Although, actually, I think I'm on my hands-free mic, aren't I? So you guys can hear me fairly clearly, even if I step away from the camera. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I don't see the white pencil here. The white pencil we can use on top of the black ABS, right? So we can draw some layout lines for where the parts are going to get glued down. So I'm just going to run and grab one because I believe there's one. Oh, hold on. As I second guess myself, we have our little props toolbox over here that we started putting together, and if I remember correctly, I've had a bunch of those white pencils. We use those quite frequently when we're building stuff, especially when we're using like a lot of the materials are darker colored materials, and the white pencils even. There's a whole bunch of them. Ha 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 ha! Excellent. It feels a little like a mad scientist lab sometimes, Yes, I'm clear. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Art Lover. Alrighty then. So what I need to do is figure out how wide this overall piece is supposed to be. We've got 3.5. Okay. And okay. 1 3/16 from the edge. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Well, you guys can see this. It's just sort of at the bottom edge of frame, but just going to do a couple of vertical lines to denote where the that's the other drawback with working in these trays. All right, I'm going to temporarily pull the tray out of the way. The lip of the tray is preventing me from laying the ruler flat down on the material. So 9, and it was, we were talking, was overall was 5¼ inches tall. The base structural portion of the crown is 2 inches tall. So that's what I'm going to do here is do a layout line across at 2 inches. Like so. Just double check. Yeah, that looks good like that. Ah. I am noticing we have a little bit of an overlap from the one detail into the other detail. So I'm going to make a little bit of a change, make the spaces a little bit wider. This crown was based on 7 segments around, which was Stefan's. The ones we can do now, we could do them as either 6 segments around or 5.5 or whatever. If we trim like an elastic band or something stuck to this thing, if we trim or do a partial segment, so that we have one peak in the middle and then 1, 2, and 1, 2 or something on the sides. Did you go to an art school, college, or are you self-taught? Pretty much self-taught. I mean, we both took art in high school, and when I did post-secondary, I focused more on electronics, and I did just a little over a year in post-secondary in college. I just decided it wasn't really teaching me anything I didn't already know, so I was a college dropout. And Christina did a little bit of computer studies and did some intern cooperative work with Much Music in broadcast, like news and media, broadcast media, which is where a lot of her background is. But all the rest of our skills is all pretty much self-taught. My father was an non-electrical engineer, but life experience is priceless. Oh, absolutely. But he was an electrician. He was very adept at electrical maintenance and electronic maintenance. So he taught me a lot of that stuff early on in life. Christina's father was fairly hands-on as well with things, and he did model kits and train sets and all sorts of other build projects that Christina got to work with him on. So yeah, both of us did a lot of self-taught and a lot of learning from our fathers, which is awesome. And then yeah, we just sort of worked it from there. A little tutorial here, a little tutorial there, a little refresher course here and there, and learning as we go. But yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you. Right now, my primary focus here is to just sort of do a bit of a layout of the section. Dad was a farmer too. Well, yeah, interestingly enough, I mean, the farm thing I think was more because other members of the family who had moved to Canada were doing the farming thing. I mean, during the war, he was an electrical maintenance guy. He was actually an electrical maintenance guy for the Allies, working on a can't remember if it was a Canadian or an American military base. And then when they moved to Canada, he had his own electrician's business. He did a lot of electrical wiring. A lot of apartment buildings in the west end of Toronto were all like, he was one of the primary electrical contractors for those. like the smaller apartments, like the sixplex and eightplex buildings, not the big high-rise apartment buildings or anything like that. And then his sister and her husband moved out of Toronto and moved to a farm up near near Orangeville. And so then my dad decided, oh, well, why don't we give that a try too? You know, we can do some farming and go back to some of our roots, as it were. And ended up actually renting out the fields more often than anything else, and that was working for the Allies. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, which was, it was a dangerous thing to do back in World War II when you're a male German citizen. Uh, but so yeah, the farm ended up being more of an investment thing than anything else, as an income property, because he would rent out the fields to different people. And when the farm was sold, the initial farm, from what my sister was telling me, she was a bit of a financial advisor for them, and she had them parcel out the farm as three separate properties, and sell each of the three properties individually, and they actually ended up, netting more money than it would have otherwise. So, and then moving from there to Brantford, basically took on another farm, and again, it became an income property. The fields were rented out. One set of fields was corn, another set of fields was wheat, stuff like that. So it would have been dangerous for him. Oh yeah, and yeah, there was a lot of hardship back then. He and his sister ran messages for the Allies as well, and they were basically, imagine this in the 1930s. Um, my dad and his sister with a motorcycle with a sidecar, and they would be going around, in the different cities in West Germany, delivering messages for the Allies. And there were a number of times where they were in pretty dicey situations, from what my sister was telling me. Oh, interesting. Oh, hang on, my phone is not charging. Give me one sec here, folks. Close. Why is my phone not charging? Or is charging just not keeping up with the broadcast? Yeah, my phone just gave a low battery warning. Oh, no, it won't stay on the balanced on the thing there. It's not exactly the same spot. Definitely not exactly the same spot. Hang on a sec, folks. Just the right. There we go. Okay, hopefully that won't fall over. But yeah, I may have to try to switch back to one of the iPads or something. Let me go get the other iPad. I'm back, and just in case the phone dies, I want to be able to have a backup. It's not as good, but I think it wasn't stalling like the big iPad was. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm here, folks. Just want to make sure that this is prepared just in case. Oh yeah, that's right. We changed our Wi-Fi network, and this iPad has not been on since then. Give me a sec here. Somewhere a device should hopefully share a password. There we go, hang on. Password not shared. Interesting. Okay, fine. Da-da-dum. Changing Wi-Fi is the worst. Yeah, well, this is it. We got a new Wi-Fi router, and had Christine's brother over. It was literally the day we were doing the Wild West broadcast, and her brother was over helping us get it set up because he's an IT guy. There we go. Okay, so just gonna do this and close that up. Oh, let me get. Okay, hang on, folks. All right. Okay. Just close that. The app still operates even though it's. All right. I'm just gonna close that. Bear with me, folks. There we go. So if we have to, we can log on to that one. Good to have an IT guy in the family. Yeah, exactly. So anytime we have a bit of a computer problem or something, we're like, Mom, help us out. So okay. So yeah, because part of what we were trying to do was get a Wi-Fi router that was better than what our service provider, what Bell provided us with, because we get it's up front in the kitchen or near the front of the house in the kitchen where the incoming fiber optic line is, and we find even here in the workroom, which is only maybe 25, 30 feet at most away from where the router is, we get a lower signal. And that's why you guys see us, our broadcast sort of stalls or stutters every once in a while when we're broadcasting from back here. And then in the backyard, it's even worse, right? We got to a point where we couldn't do any broadcasts from the backyard because it was just, we weren't getting the right, we weren't getting a strong, stable enough signal back there. So we got this other router to connect up to the Bell, and one of the next things we got to do is figure out where's the best place to put that router back here. It has to be connected. It's going to have to be connected to the Bell router with Ethernet. We got it connected with an Ethernet cable right now, so we can move it around. But it's going to mean we're going to have to tack the cable up wherever it goes, and conceal the cable so that it's not so glaringly obvious. And then figure that out. But yeah, and then we had to change all of our Wi-Fi passwords and settings and all that sort of stuff. So, and that literally that iPad hasn't been used in about 3 or 4 weeks because it's getting on its last legs as well. The battery doesn't last very long, so it's going to have to get plugged in if it gets used, or it'll die within minutes. So hopefully my phone is actually properly charging now and doesn't run dry, because it was only at about 4% when I came back in. I plugged it in right away. But whether the charging can keep up with the draw of broadcasting, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'll just keep plugging away here, and measure the other point is about 3 7/8 inches high. So who else is out there tonight? So this is what we got so far. Whether it makes a lot of sense or not, I don't know. That's the vertical center line of the tall spike. That's the vertical center line of the short spike, and that is the horizontal of the main portion of the crown. So what we'll end up doing is we glue this stuff top and bottom. This one we glue centered on that line. This one we glue centered on that line, and the other bits we glue up to the top. They're fiddly little guys, so I'm not going to worry about bringing them over here to show at the moment. I think a lot of people are away for the weekend. Well, this is being the Labor Day weekend too. Not a lot of people out there, and I think it was about 3 o'clock or something when I. No, it was about 2 o'clock when I posted this broadcast was going to be happening. So sometimes not everyone gets the messages, And we had Red Eye on earlier from Facebook, so I don't know whether he's going to log back on Haps when he gets home. It's usually what he does is when he gets off work, he just quickly checks using his phone, but he's using Facebook, viewing it from Facebook because he doesn't have any memory room on his phone to put the Haps app. And then he sometimes comes on again an hour or so later, or half hour or so later with Haps from his computer at home. So we'll see what happens with that. So, gonna see what I can do with these pieces. I may have to try and pry some more of this off just to get it all in the right spot. This is also, oh, I may have to modify these because they're not going to line up the same on the centers because I just spread things out a little bit. That's okay. That's okay. We can make this work. We can make it work. Yes, folks, we can make it work. Might actually do this a little bit differently. I'm going to grab the big, the cast crown that we had done, just to sort of get a little bit of inspiration. Oh, big stretch. It's up on a top shelf. So yeah, this ended up being, this was the cast one that we did, which is the more ornate, heavier duty version of this guy. And it was done a similar way as the, there we go, look at that, wow. This one's quite a lot heavier too, because it's quite a bit thicker. And it still needs a little bit of padding on the inside, but overall. So yeah, I want to figure out something that we can do for the top and bottom edge of that main section. Yeah, and this one it's a combination of gold spray paint and then some gold leaf brush sort of rubbed into some of the higher points, just to give it a little bit more of a shine to it. And again, this was done as one single section, sort of hand sculpted, and then molded and molded, copied, laid out, remolded. So it does seem like a bit of an extensive process, like a complicated process. And sometimes that's kind of what we need to do in order to get something done. Rather than, I mean, the other way to do it would be to hand make 7 copies of the same thing. Definitely looks metal. Yeah, it's got that like with the gold leaf, it's got a lot more pop to it. So doing the fairy crowns with the metal powder works quite well as well. So I think that that's definitely a direction that we can go. And the metal powder, when it bonds into the surface of the plastic of the resin, it doesn't scratch off, right? Whereas with paint, you scratch it off and you got the color of the plastic underneath. It's another advantage of using the black. So if something scrapes off, you get a little black spot instead of using white plastic or something where you get this bright glaring white thing showing up. Cool. So what I think I'm going to try and do, I'm trying to think of what we've got that would work. Again, our little collection of multiple materials. This is a little wider. It might be feasible. Oh, I don't want to have to dump this out in order to find the pieces that I need. But I'd like to change the spacing on that that little rail detail, because now we'd slightly changed the spacing on the spikes. It'd be really cool if we had like a half round. Yeah, actually, I think that'd be a great idea. Sorry, I was just responding to a message. Give me 1 sec here. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna try hitting the go live button and see what goes on. Oh, we may actually be. Let's see what happens here, folks. All right, I am live, and I think it's facing the other way. There we go. Oh yeah, this Christine is saying metal finishes are my specialty. That's right. Yeah, all the faux finishing. I leave that to her to do. That's one of the things she's really good at. Kind of wish we had some half round of this rod. So that would make a really great detail piece for a top and bottom little rail on that crown. So I'm going to see what I can do with these pieces here. I asked him to try to hit go live so I can try to change location. Yeah, because if she goes off, like right now, the laptop is sort of running the broadcast. So if she has to go off Wi-Fi to move location, the laptop, we might actually lose the broadcast. So I've hit the go live button. It gave me the countdown, and it for some reason switched the camera to the other side of the phone. But it seems to have kept hold of the original broadcast and all the comments and everything. So I think we're good. Now I control the horizontal and I control the vertical, so Christina can go and move locations and close up the laptop and find herself a better place. Closing laptop. Awesome. There we go. Teamwork. Yeah, see, that's a little wider than... Okay. Good luck. Wish me luck. Good luck. Awesome. There we go. I see what I'm going to have to do. I'm gonna try and use these pieces after all, but I'm gonna have to cut, do a little creative splicing. Okay. Which means I'm probably gonna have to get a little bit more of this material pried off of the crown. Knife, little knife. That's not very straight. Okay, I think I need a bigger knife to get a bit of a straighter. Then notice the blade on that little scalpel knife is actually a bit bent. It's got a curve to it. Scalpel knives are great for small detail and stuff, but try to, I may possibly have bent it when I was prying off bits and pieces, so I don't know. Fresh tip. And just like any responsible shop, we have a sharps disposal. As soon as I can figure out where it went. We actually have a few of them in this room. I know there's one over on the electronics bench. So basically a tin can with a slot in the top of it. So all blades, blades, bent sewing needles, things like that, all go into the sharps disposal, so that we're not throwing, razor blades and stuff like that in the garbage, because that would be very irresponsible. Alrighty. Come on. Sit still. Yeah, some of these bits still have a bit of curvature to them, so it's a little challenging. But it's not impossible. So what I'm going to do here, I have to do this a few times, is I'm laying out, don't break on that joint, break on the other one. I need a sharps disposal. I tend to break a lot of wine glasses. No, all you need is a fireplace. So there we go. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to cut and trim these so that the spaces that are centered on the actual spines are a little bit wider than the other ones. Because on the actual Stefan crown, and this is something we never completely finished on this either, these spaces are all tiny little black beads, like all the way around, and a braid top and bottom, which is possible but very, very challenging to do. But yeah, that should work out okay like that. Yes. And then what I can do here is I can just match the spacing, the width, so that it's balanced. Oops. LOL. Wow, yeah, this is very brittle stuff now. It's just breaking up in multiple spots. Not even where I'm hitting with the knife, but elsewhere. Yeah, okay, so that'll work fine. So that's if we take these pieces and we attach them, or we line them up together, and you see that one space is a little bit wider than the space next to it, and that's kind of how we'll end up taking up that extra little bit of spacing. What I had to do for the spacing, just to make it a little bit easier when we do the molds, is you'll see, let's see here, yeah, you'll see this diamond detail pattern actually tucks into the side of the big rectangular detail pattern, which is difficult for us to tile together without cutting in and basically making detail that's going to have to be really kind of fiddly to clean up on the joints. So I've spaced them apart just a little bit farther so that they're edge to edge. That way we can have a nice vertical dividing line between them, and it'd be a lot easier. Sharp disposal for the needles I use for my cat insulin injections. Yep, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, we use syringe needles as well too, for sometimes for applying thin glues and stuff along those lines. So yeah. Okay, so that's one. Now I can make a duplicate of that. Actually, I need 4 of those right off the bat, and then a couple of partial sections. Or oh, right, yeah, partial section there. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, is that you back on, Christina?
Apparently it is.
Apparently it is. Hey, there you are. Yeah, because I haven't had any sound in my earpiece up until now. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, hi. Hi, how are you?
Oh, okay. So the sound is coming through Broadcast Studio?
It's possibly just because maybe with the whole feedback thing that we were noticing with our mics and earbuds, that we don't hear ourselves talking. So,
Could be.
but I can hear
can't
you
hear
fine.
me. Oh, that's right, I can. Well, that's good.
Hmm? Hmm?
That's good that you can hear me.
Tommy, can you hear me? Did you find a?
Katie, the HAPS thing is just, sorry, the Hathor thing is basically temporary, so, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of stuff that we can talk about, you know, off camera.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of stuff with the Humane Society right now to try to find her a home. So if there's anyone on the broadcast right now that's local or close to Martin and I and would like to take a beautiful little kitty cat in and have the chance to show mass dedication to her that we are unfortunately unable to provide, then PM us on Facebook. It's easiest to find us on Instagram. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
Car Hunger, CARR.
HUNGER. Hey, I'm still on
And
the wall.
Martin fell asleep.
What?
So
No, I
is
didn't.
this so it's echoey in here because this is the meditation room, so it's very empty. But
Echo, echo, echo.
am I breaking up as much as I did before?
You're much better
Am I
now.
breaking up with you?
Oh, again. Yeah, no, you're much better right now.
Okay, because this is another floor up, but it's the other end of the building, which is the same end the router is at.
Oh, okay.
But
So
it's one
closer
floor
to
up.
closer to the Wi-Fi.
Closer and possibly less in between it, period. Like, I mean, there's no sub doors or
Oh,
it's straight.
less obstruction.
Very echoed. Here, since Martin doesn't seem to be showing you what he's doing, I guess working from that angle down at the camera is
It's a
tough.
little challenging. Well, I'm putting things up every once in a while. And
Yeah, but if you
talking
can
about stuff.
slide, if you're willing to slide over, in other words, get more behind your stuff. Hang on, stay where you are and we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, because when I do this, oh, actually, keep your work right in front of you and you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just for a moment I was off to one side because of the space consideration, but yeah, I can do that.
See, the room is echoey for the reason. Is it? Nothing. There's a little sitting mat on the floor, and there's a little closet nearby with like yoga mats and stuff. So, yeah, it's gonna be echoey. It doesn't drive you guys crazy, does it? I mean, I've got you on my little hands
It
free.
doesn't drive us crazy.
Right, I got you guys on this. So, hopefully it's less echoey than it would be if you didn't. Jedi said she can deal.
I can deal with it.
She can
It's like,
deal.
okay, folks, it's time to level with you. Christina's in a secret lair in a disused subway station. What the heck was that?
You know that filtered bottle thing the sports bottle with the filter, the charcoal filter in it?
Oh, we got from the guy with the
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently when you squeeze it in an echoey room.
It makes you think of those little slide whistles. All right, everyone turn off your video and try to interpret what the sound is. And hopefully we don't get shut down for, NSFW. Katie says I went to the Curtis flea market. Okay, yeah, that's just east of Oshawa, isn't it, Curtis?
You're right. We're not that kind of broadcast.
And we're not that kind of broadcast. Yes, it is. Someone's feeling a little giddy tonight.
Apparently tonight's the night that the Munchkins next door decided to sound too much like my childhood.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Really?
So I said, fine. So I sent a message down saying, is the meditation room empty? They said, yes. I said, I'm there.
It's going to become your own personal sanctuary.
Yeah. Just might. Oh, I'm sorry.
Pass it. Yes, you did.
So, you know that little hub that we bought to plug things into this
Oh.
computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had the Dropbox and 2 other drives plugged into it. And everything just keeps rejecting, like ejecting itself. So I decided today to plug the Dropbox directly into the computer with the one converter I have. And it hasn't complained, it hasn't rejected, it hasn't anything. So now I want to be here with you and get work done and plug in a second drive, and I only have one converter. I know we bought.
You only have the one?
I know we bought multiples, but guess what? They're not in the bag.
Check. They're not in the bag. Because here we would have had a converter on that little hub and a converter on the hub that's still here. And there's no converters here.
And there should be a third. No, there should be a third converter.
Should be a third.
That's not it. That's the wrong converter. We bought 3. One to stay at home.
Yeah.
One to plug in. There's another hub there.
Yeah. Which
So
should have a USB-C converter on it, but it doesn't.
Oh no, we were daisy chaining them.
Oh, that's right, because it was originally plugged into the monitor. Right. Okay.
Phone hub, other drive. The second converter is not here where it's supposed to be.
Well, that's frustrating.
Yes. Very much so. So you know when I unplug the Dropbox, you know what it's going to do, right?
Oh, it's going to complain.
Mm-hmm. Back at the house, Katie, and we left one in the box. There should be one completely untouched. Because we hadn't even taken it out yet. So I have to decide if I'm going to continue to let the Dropbox update. Oh, I'm going to unplug this. And we need another person who does cosplay or photography for cosplay or a kid who cosplays or anything that is cosplay related for a takeover. Because the 2 people who were, the 2 people who were supposed to do it with me both quit, and takeovers require another person. So Martin and I can't do it alone, guys.
No, definitely.
Who would like to get on and help us talk about the aspects of cosplay? Come on.
Gotta be somebody out there. Come on, folks.
Is there anybody out there?
There's gotta be someone out there.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to do different kind of stuff in the background. I should have brought something with me, you know.
Brought something with you?
Yeah, so I could be working on something here, we could be working on something there.
Oh, like a actual build project of some kind.
Yeah. Well, fine.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not being very, contributing to this broadcast.
Oh,
Where's the music button?
well. Oh yeah. No, I've been so like up about doing this here. Hang on. See what I can get going on here. Yeah, I was having problems with my phone. I assume you've been watching this whole time. You saw my phone tried to die. I think the
No,
plug
I
wasn't
have not
quite.
been watching this whole time.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah.
You think my
I
whole
think my
world
plug
revolves
wasn't.
around you?
No. No. Oh. That royalty-free stuff. Where was that?
Um, First thing you do is check Apple Music, and the second thing you do is check YouTube.
Okay.
But go into Apple Music and
Okay.
search. Don't search our own playlist, like our own music. Search on
Right.
the Apple Music database. Copyright free classical or something. Copyright free, whatever. What I said, Katie, was our co-cosplay people for our broadcast on the 8th, which is a Habs takeover, bailed for various reasons. And you're supposed to have at least 2 broadcasters in the Habs takeover, hence the takeover. So you can get like a round table kind of discussion. And we don't. So we lose our takeover if we don't find other people. So, people who have cosplay is a positive thing. Have kids who cosplay, photographer, makeup person, whatever. Cosplay types, even drag queen and drag kings are technically cosplayers. So on Haps, so we can promote their channel and them, and we got to find them soon because the 8th is going to come up really fast.
Hmm.
Oh, you got 2 highs. Oh, Art Lover. Is Art Lover still here, or did I miss Art Lover?
I don't know. I haven't seen a comment from Art Lover in a few minutes.
Oh. That's my
Can you
pouty
hear the music?
face. Barely.
Oh, he's nice.
You can turn it up a little more. Like, you're much closer to the audio than it is. That's nice.
How's that?
Yeah.
It's that song that Henry VIII wrote.
Oh, how did you answer Art Lover's question? Do you like doing this kind of work or mechanical work better?
Oh,
I'm curious.
I like all of the aspects of it. In terms of just sort of the creativity and the artistic flair. When it comes to more organic stuff, that's where I usually let you take over because you've got a bit more of an organic kind of concept brain than I do. And then whenever we have a project that involves a bit of organic stuff and a bit of mechanical stuff, then we both take our own strengths, and you do more of the organic, and I do the mechanical parts of it.
Yeah, I can do mechanical, but I'm not as like I have to measure 20 times and cut once. Martin measures once and cut once.
Sometimes. Hang on one sec.
Elena, Burger King Crown.
Yeah, I know.
Elena,
Oh, you're catching
where
up on the old
yeah.
comments.
Where did you? I've got to be worth something here. Okay. Where did you tell Elena I went? Where
Where
did you
you
tell
went?
Elena where I went? Yeah, she asked where I was.
Oh, I think I missed that comment.
It was just before Hope she got my latest DM on Facebook. And then she says
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
So you said something.
Oh yeah, because I said you're asking me to remember things from like 45 minutes ago.
Was it that long?
I say What did I say? Oh, that yeah. As soon as she finds out about the refund from, hopefully she finds out soon about the refund from the package that never arrived. So that's what she was agreeing with.
It was an hour ago. Was it really? Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm at 2 hours already. Wow.
Nice.
Okay. So I managed to extract the right amount of
It's a tiny
detail
Darth
bits.
Vader.
Tiny Darth Vader. Who, where, what? Do I have to actually
Doesn't
view the live comment or the live feed to
it?
see what
No, it's a,
you're doing?
no, you know
Oh,
what I'm doing.
the
I already
breathing
said
sound.
that. Yeah, yeah. So because it's higher pitched, right? So imagine Darth Vader with a
Right.
higher pitched voice.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Join the dark side.
Darth Vader on helium. Yes, folks, Christina has lost it.
Darth Vader
She's doing
Jr.
just fine, folks. Darth Vader Jr. Tiny
There are
Darth
more.
Vader. I love it.
There are more fish in the sea than ideas in my head, and thank God for that.
Yeah, I love that. All right, I guess I got to start gluing some of these bits down.
So, which molding compound did you decide to use?
I have not yet. So it's probably going to be one of the Dragon Skins because we have one of the Dragon Skins a little bit faster. Obviously not the FX Pro. A, it's too soft, and B, it's like gold. It's the effect stuff. It's the prosthetic grade. But I know we have
the
like a
cheap.
Dragon Skin 30 or something like that. Actually, hang on. Let me do a quick. You could become a Foley artist. Yes. Hang on one sec here.
It's so much fun making sounds.
It
It's
is.
like being a kid.
Everything
again.
is better with sound effects. Keep saying that. You know.
It is. It is. So why haven't you produced any sound effects for working on the crown?
You know. Boom, boom,
Oh,
boom, boom,
right.
boom, boom, boom.
I forgot it's a motion sensor.
Who or what?
Why do the lights have a motion sensor in a meditation room?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So if you just sit still long enough, your lights go out and you're left in the dark.
I gotta pretend to be you with monkey arms.
Monkey arms. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Christina
none of the Dragon
Dark Side.
Skins. We've got Dragon Skin 20 and we've got Dragon Skin 30. The 20 is a 4-hour cure time for the molding compound, and the 30 is a 16-hour cure time.
Oh, geez, no, that's not
The
any
FX
better
Pro
than
is a 40-minute. FX Pro is 40-minute cure time, so
yeah, but
I
that
don't want to
stuff
use the
is
FX
like
Pro.
so
It's
gold.
it's 2A hardness, so it is like super soft because it's meant to stick to your face and be able to take like any facial. Christina went to the dark
Right.
side.
And we're supposed
All
to be
right,
using
so
it for
that's
dragons.
yeah for Dragon Skin and ear tips and possibly Klingon forehead at some point soon, stuff like that. So all right. Considering we're already at 2 hours, I mean, I'm going to get this put together and cut out and everything, and maybe make a mold box for it and get a mold poured. and then we'll see what happens. Because it could be
So I guess
close to
you're gonna
midnight by
use
the time that
just
happens.
might as well go straight to just one of the molding compounds. Well, that
Yeah.
or, would you like to come back for our audience tomorrow? I mean, I can't guarantee to be here at all.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to do the intro video, but I mean that's
Do it the way you
that's
did the
entirely
other
feasible.
day. That was funny.
The bad camera copy of the intro video. Yeah, I can do that. That was fun. Alrighty. Thinking what glue do we have that's gonna work best for this?
Stretching my nose out.
Let me see if the plasti weld is actually any good. I should get a little bit of sandpaper or sanding block or something. Is that Danny Boy? It's Danny Boy. I thought it was Danny Boy.
Hey, where's your banner, dude?
It's on the mirror. Hey, 2 minutes before broadcast.
Yeah,
But
and
I could move it. Yeah, and
yeah,
yes,
it's too
and
late.
sounds like an
It's
improv
too
class.
late.
Oh, no,
Your
just
opportunity has passed.
if. That's not a good block. Need a nice flat block of some kind to do sanding on. That might work.
I can't see what he's doing.
I'm off camera again, folks. Give me 1 sec here. Just trying to find a piece of
Where
material that I can.
are you? Is there anybody in there?
Oh, I'm in here.
You sure?
Never.
Oh.
Aha, that'll work. What I want to do is do a little bit of sanding on the back of these pieces, the little detail pieces, to try and clean up any burr from previous gluing and stuff. And that'll hopefully make them easier to stick down.
Excuse me.
What you doing?
Looking at the Discord and hoping someone will have
Oh yeah.
into the group.
Oh, did you get your grilled cheese?
Kinda.
Kinda.
It's more like a cheese sandwich.
Hmm.
But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. This is more jazz stuff than it is classical. Interesting. I don't mind.
That's ragtime.
Yeah, or ragtime. That's what I meant. Yeah. So there, what I'm doing is I'm sanding the back of these pieces so that they'll be easier to glue down to the surface of the panel. Once I got the pieces glued down, then I'm going to do a careful cut around them to match the shape.
Hmm.
She says,
I'm letting people know that Discord still confuses me and asking them to be handled.
Excellent.
Okay, how does this work?
I have no idea. I know we started playing around with Discord a little bit with Beth back in Guelph.
It doesn't mean I understand any of this.
Hmm. Yeah, it was a little bit beyond both of us, I think, at that point. So hopefully somebody out there can help us.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think I'm just gonna have to try to find time, like everything else in my life,
Hmm.
and learn things.
Yeah, I think that applies to both of us. It's like Captain Kirk was asking earlier in the broadcast, where do we learn our skills? Do we go to art school or anything along those lines? And a lot of it's self-taught, And
We stumble through
seems
life
to be the
foolishly,
way.
hoping that we'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
that's right. But it seems to be the way we learn best, just by doing.
It's also the way we make our best mistakes.
That's true.
Many of them
And
colossal.
that way we can present at panels at conventions and say, don't do what we did. This is how it should be done. This is not how we did it.
Mhm. We may still be alive, but it does not mean you will survive.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I think that's also where our other secondary catchphrase. If you don't see us again, you'll know something went horribly wrong.
Probably wrong, yes. Yes.
Definitely interesting variations of these pieces.
Okay, so how do you find new groups on apps?
How do you what?
Find new groups on apps.
Find new groups? I don't know.
Oh, I figured it out.
Did you figure it out?
I did.
Excellent.
Oh, I don't want to create a server. I want to find a server. Oh, you can't randomly just look for one?
No? All right, let's see how this stuff works. Sounds like you're pouting again.
I am. Shouldn't I be?
What do I need? No. Not allowed to pout. Sigh. Need a little something. Oh, as a edge block. This will work.
Okay. so that's how I do that. And this one hasn't been posted on since 2020. Fan Expo Canada
wow.
has not posted on the Discord since 2020.
Wow.
Well, that doesn't do me much good.
No, really.
I mean, yeah, I figured out to join things, but who else has a Discord out there that I can just kind of figure out how to connect them? Doctor Who Discord?
Oh, I wonder.
Okay, there it is. And their most recent post is when?
There another one that hasn't posted in a while?
Okay, they're posting more frequently. Okay, well, I'll keep that one intact then. I wonder if there's a droid. A droid. No, there's Discord.
So this plastic weld seems to work quite well.
Which one?
This stuff here.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff we got from the craft store.
Yeah.
Or did we refill it? Or did we refill it with something else?
Nope.
'Cause
It's the same stuff. Smells the same.
Hold on. I thought we ran out. I think there was a larger container of another glue that we had put in
Oh,
there.
maybe. I wonder.
Because we were down to like how little is in there. Oh yeah, we got it from supplies.
Sculpture supply?
Sculpture supply, yeah. Oh, here goes my lights again.
Yeah. Christina cast into darkness.
I gotta ask them. Give me this light on. There it comes.
You right there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You fine?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I just realized Jedi Senji's Katie's comment actually has a double meaning.
What?
Well, Christina went to the dark side, right? First, you were playing with the bottle and making the wheezing baby Darth Vader sound, and
Right.
you're also the lights are going out. Double meaning. So I'm having to hold the like sort of temporarily clamp the pieces down as I glue them to keep them from lifting up. But it seems to be working.
RPF. Something
RPF?
prop form.
Replica prop forum.
Oh, right. I think we're on that, but we haven't gone to
That's
it.
the one
So
that we are on that, yeah. It's one of Adam Savage's favorite boards.
all right. I don't know what our login is. Halo costume. No, I'm not. I like a general prop making Discord. For Cosmic Costume Prop Makers to hang out. Okay. Who are you, Sam, on Twitter? I am eating red curry with fish. Cool. How's it tasting?
Onion muffin. Hey.
I don't think the red curry with fish, though, tastes like an onion muffin.
Like an onion muffin? Probably not. Hmm.
Mhm. Okay, oh, there's the Discord code. Getting the hang of it. Spicy time.
Spicy Indian food.
But how is it?
Indian food.
Indian, okay. But how does it taste? Safari can open this page. Address is invalid. What? What? What?
What?
What?
What? What? What? What?
What?
What? What? What?
What? Oh, this was back in 2018. They're probably gone. Oh, no, I figured it out. I don't know how I figured it out. I just figured it out.
Figured it out. Figured it out.
Oh, but he hasn't posted since 2018. Well, that doesn't matter. Yeah, he is like dead.
Doodaloo.
Mm-hmm. Is this form still active? So it's spicy Indian food. It tastes like spicy Indian food. But is that good or bad? I mean, that's a fair question, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
DIY and maker Discord group, resin casting.
Oh, really?
Ooh, yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna get hooked on Discord, and I'm not gonna have even. I'm gonna have even less of a life at this point.
No, not another service. No, not another platform. Oh, okay, this one too. Everyone's using it, so better get on it. So more exposure, less time. One of these days.
Remember Martin back
I
in
mean,
the
this is
80s?
the great thing about Haps, right? Is we can broadcast on one platform and stream it to like 5 or 6 others. So
We still have to go and check every once in a while and make sure nothing's going chaotic.
oh, yeah. There is that.
You know, because
There is that.
we've had some
Do
experiences.
not need chaos.
Here, Onion Muffin has gone quiet. View
Just
profile.
wanted to tell us about their Indian food, and that was it, right?
Yeah. Well, Onion Muffin does not have an onion or a muffin as the profile picture. And is in Strawberry Plains, Tennessee, and is a vending machine loader.
Cool.
And what kind of vending machines? And has no.
Curry food, the Indian food vending machines.
But you think he's eating his wares? That's not going to get him very far.
So that's Blair. That's starting to be the construction of the.
Here, let me give you your screen
flat
back.
part.
Hang on.
Oh.
Hang on. Do it again. So you're going to cut out the shape after the fact?
I'm gonna have to, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to match the shape. So.
What do you mean? Whoa, before you go any further.
Okay. Hang on a sec.
I figured you would have cut out the shape first.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I guess I guess I can try and hold the pieces down, trace them out. Like luckily this portion down here is all one large piece, so I'm not going to have to worry about too much detail cutting there. But yeah, I could take the other pieces and lay them out and do a rough cut around them. But I
Well,
want
are
to be
you
able to
gonna
match
do?
them fairly well, right?
Yeah. Well, are you doing the same shape
Yeah.
and size? Are
As
you
the
doing the
original,
same as the original?
it's very similar. I space things a little bit just to make it easier to make it in sections. But
Right.
yeah, overall
Because once you get the
it's
pieces
going to be fairly
glued down,
similar.
it's going to be hard to cut around them
Hmm.
without running the risk of
Yeah,
cutting the pieces.
yeah. No, this is a very good point.
So
Yeah.
it would make sense to have cut the base first
Hmm.
and then start gluing things down.
Mm. Well, yeah, I can do that for the upper bits anyway. So that's where all the detail cutting is going to be up here anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. So maybe
Oh, that makes sense.
make a stencil with a piece of paper of the upper piece
Oh,
and tack the piece of paper down.
that's actually a good idea. Stick the paper down and then use that
See,
as a guide to do the cutting.
folks, this is the real reason why Martin and I are still together.
Sometimes we'll look at each other's project and go, "You're not making it that way, are you?" What are you doing?
And sometimes there are times where one of us will finish a project completely on our own, and then after the fact, the other one will pick it up and go, "Oh, did you not think of this?" It's like, too late now.
It's like, oh yeah.
You mean like my tracer that you decided to rebuild and gave it to me as a gift, and I was so happy, but you put the on switch inside,
Inside it,
and
you have to slide
it's
it open a little
on.
bit.
It's always on, as
It's
opposed
always
to
ticking and
just
beeping.
yeah, which drives me nuts because you have
Uh-huh.
to. You can't do a flawless presentation or performance with it because you have to stop. You have to open the back of it,
Mm,
turn it on, close it, and then pretend that you didn't do that.
that's true. Yeah.
But the first version you made before you knew a lot that you know now, you didn't do that. You did a little
That's true.
switch on the
Yeah.
back and a touchpad.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mr. Martin.
All right.
Sorry, I'm trying to get the lights back on. Okay.
What's that?
I was trying to get the lights back on. That's why I stopped talking.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Just God, wait, turn this off.
You'd think so, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, the internet is much better here.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, so they were saying that you were breaking up earlier. I think it's because you were connected to me.
That could
And
be, yeah.
so, Mr. Martin,
Yes.
no, you're that way.
Hmm? What?
Mr. Over there. Poke. See, he doesn't
Do
care
we?
that I'm poking. Poke.
Oh, yeah.
Poke. It's like
Because
a,
I'm watching this on my little phone screen. I can't really see what
it's like the
you're
it's like the
doing.
TikTok. It's like the TikTok videos.
Uh, preview's not showing. Okay.
Hey, hey, hey,
All right.
hey, hey, hey,
Okay.
hey, 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 hey.
No idea what you're doing. Okay, I'm getting onto apps and looking at what the heck you're doing.
It's too late. I stopped. And it's no fun now because your shoulder's not on the edge of the screen.
What's that?
Look forward. Turn your whole body forward.
What's that?
Turn your whole body forward.
Turn my whole body forward. Okay.
So your shoulder's on the edge of the middle of the screen.
So my shoulder's on the edge of the middle of the screen. Okay.
Go back to where you were. Sit straight. Stop slouching. Get your gut in.
Okay.
Look like you actually like yourself.
Oh my God.
And the shoulder that's closest to the middle of the screen,
Okay.
square it up
This
so
one?
it's still so it goes back to the middle of the screen. Square your body up.
Okay.
There, now stay there. Now you're too
There.
far.
Okay. Oop. Back a bit. Back a bit.
Can you see it now on a bigger screen? Can you see it now on a bigger screen?
Yes, I can. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was doing this.
Ah. Okay. Now it makes sense.
I think someone needs to work his brain more, huh?
What's that?
I think you need to work your brain more.
Oh God, yeah. Definitely.
So here's the
Definitely.
question, Martin.
Mhm.
Since you've been on for 2.5
Uh-huh.
hours, and it looks like you've got
Uh-huh.
another hour or so worth of work.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to change gears and work on things like the page with me, or anything else for that matter, you have to
Oh,
stop your
mhm.
precious broadcast. And do
Hmm.
you want to pick it up tomorrow? Do you want a part 2 tomorrow?
I could
Do
do
you want
part
to
two
try a
tomorrow.
different time of day?
Well,
If
if I'm
you're
going out
gonna,
to
or
staging
do
for
you want to finish working on it at staging, and we'll do a broadcast Monday night maybe?
you know what? That would actually be a lot better. So I'll bring it with me to staging tomorrow and work on it there.
And either tomorrow
Yeah.
night you get on and unmold it and stuff with them, or
Hmm.
you Monday. But as long as you decide the day and tell our wonderful folks out here in the other land that's on the other
In
side of this
Hapsland.
monitor, in Hapside, yes. As long as you give them at least a few hours heads up, they should be able to join you.
Yeah, I like that idea. Okay. And that means we can work a little bit more on the page and get some stuff done.
Because you know the car hunger, CARR
HUNGER.
.ca. Could use a little loving.
Definitely. Yeah, I need to get those crown listings up and stuff like that. So yeah, I like that.
So
Sure.
So, don't keep saying so.
Why don't?
Are we ending your broadcast
Or
or
are we
not?
saying so? Yes. Yeah. So we're at 2.5 hours, folks. I'm gonna put this iPad away, and yeah, that means I can bring this stuff over to staging and get a little bit more work done on it, and then do a broadcast either tomorrow night or on Monday. Sounds like a plan. So, folks,
I think
thank you all
Martin's
for joining
tired
us.
because his energy is just dragging me down. I don't know about you guys, but
Oh, yeah.
honey, tonight you make me want to sleep.
Oh no. Okay, folks. So we're gonna come back on tomorrow or on Monday. Gonna get some more work done on the crown itself. Right now, Christine and I are going to sign off, and we are going to go and do some work on the carhunger.ca web store. And yeah.
Check the beginning of the
So,
broadcast with
folks.
all of the other information that I already put in and shared with you guys.
Awesome.
And we take this a day at a time, and we all know that self-love is the most important thing. So love yourself and respect yourself more than anyone else can, and everything will be just fine.
Exactly.
And hey, Mark, what? Yes.
And
Yes.
Pirate Story Time, September 26th. don't forget, folks, and those of you who were tagged in the comments in the post earlier today, pick your character types, or by Monday midnight, we'll be picking them for you.
And you don't want us to do that. No. You don't want us to do that.
Wow.
It's dangerous when we pick.
That's right. Yeah. You have pictures.
All right,
Okay.
Yeah, she did.
Excellent. Okay.
All right, folks.
I'll make a note of that and add it to the post.
Hey, Martin.
Yep.
Just say goodnight, Martin.
Good night, Martin. So which one of us has to end this broadcast now? Possibly
I
both
will.
of us, right?
Well, there's a
You will?
video
Okay.
that has to happen.
Oh, that's
Dude,
true.
there's a video.
Good night, Katie.
Oh boy. Good night, Katie.
All right. Take care, everyone. Keep the time.
We had a great time in Montreal. Montreal was all hard and floors. Right? Go on, camera. Camera. Took a nail, scratched it to death. I'd like to. That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite. No. Well, look up there.
How much styrofoam?
Way too much styrofoam. The birds are confused. It's like, what's this city doing here?
Uncle Lee was hanging.